A woman is sleeping in bed. Suddenly, her eyes snap open. It turns out she was awakened by a broadcast. It mentioned the dark horse of the real estate world, the Zeus of the entertainment industry. After hearing this, the girl picks up the remote and presses a button. Just like that, the television turns on. The news is reporting. Mr. Jiang Minxian, a man of both talent and looks, has in just 2 short years made his businesses show a trend of leaving all others in the dust. The girl sits up and scoffs. Looks like the advertising money wasn't wasted. She gets out of bed. Opening the window, she leans against the wall. She says, "No wonder my dear younger uncle dislikes this room. He even used me to switch rooms with him. This high-profile and dazzling style really doesn't match his temperament." Suddenly, she hears a knocking sound. Bang, bang. The girl turns her head to look. Someone outside the door is calling her to come down for breakfast. What time is it already? The girl looks at the weather outside. The girl says, "Seeing a ghost in broad daylight. He's actually calling me to eat." Half an hour later, the girl walks down the stairs. In the living room, she pulls out a chair. The girl thinks to herself, Jiang, he has always been moving heaven and earth for his business. Today, he's unexpectedly having breakfast at home, and he even personally called Jiang Qingying for breakfast. Jiang Qingying feels it's as absurd as being possessed by a ghost. This man is looking at the girl with a terrifying gaze. The girl says while eating, "Don't look at me like that. I didn't make you wait." The man picks up a drink and starts drinking. He says, "I wasn't waiting for you. Speak with a little more respect. I'm your father." The girl replies, "I know." This man, in a condescending tone, says, "What are your plans for today?" The girl picks up her cup. She says one word, "May you on." The man says angrily, "May you on, may you on, it's may you on again. Didn't I tell you not to go?" Even though times have changed, a performer is still just a performer. The girl just says one word, "Oh." The man pinches the bridge of his nose and says, "Free up your evening. Come to dinner with me." The girl, sipping her drink, says, "I'm not free." The man points a finger at the table. He says seriously, "It's an invitation from the Liu family. Even if your opera house burns down, you have to be free." At this moment, the girl looks at him, showing signs of anger. Suddenly, the door creaks open. The man turns his head to look. It turns out to be him walking in. The man says to him, "You're so early today. I thought you wouldn't be here until at least the afternoon." It was him who walked in. He picked up a pair of shoes and started changing. Then he said, "It was just an interview. All the questions should have been asked by now." This woman is looking him up and down. It turns out this person is the girl's younger uncle. No wonder she is so curious about him. The woman stands up and says, "Younger uncle, you're back just in time. While the food is still warm, you should have a drink with your old big brother." After speaking, the woman leaves. Then the woman's father says, "Remember the Liu family's invitation tonight." The girl turns her head and says, "Dad, if you take younger uncle, this matter might be more reliable. Selling a daughter or selling a brother, it's all selling. Don't be so old-fashioned." The girl's father coughs. The water he just drank comes spitting out. He says, "What nonsense are you spouting?" The younger uncle and the girl look at each other. The girl had a full bust. The younger uncle's gaze follows her until her back disappears. Then the younger uncle says to his older brother, "Qingying's temper has always been like this. Don't get so angry." The older brother is very gratified. Only by looking at this good younger brother, who is so outstanding in every aspect that he leaves people speechless, can he slowly calm down from his anger. The two of them aren't that far apart in age, so why is the difference between them so vast? The older brother points a finger at the sky and says, "This little ancestor thinks my life is too long. She won't listen to a word I say. She might still listen to you. Help me persuade her. I've checked on the Liu family's son. There's nothing bad about him. No matter what, I have to take her to meet him today." The younger brother says softly, "Okay." So the girl's younger uncle goes up to the second floor. Outside the door, he knocks with a creak. The girl turns her head to look and then closes the curtains. The younger uncle walks in and calls out, "Qingying." The girl says, "I heard the interview." Younger uncle spoke very well. Their eyes meet. The younger uncle reaches out, wanting to take the girl's hand, and says, "Come here." The girl gently shakes her head. The younger uncle looks thoughtful. Then he gives a slight smile. He loosens his tie, sits on the edge of the bed, and lies down, and falls asleep. The girl's eyes are scanning his body. What a great body. His chest muscles are also very firm. He has a handsome face. The girl moves closer to look at her younger uncle. Suddenly, she climbs onto the bed to caress him. Unexpectedly, the younger uncle was only pretending to be asleep. The girl sits on his body. She says, "You did that on purpose." The younger uncle's hand wraps around the girl's waist. He slides it down and finds it's in the wrong place. The girl, her face flushed, says, "Pervert." Then she gets up to leave. but the younger uncle suddenly turns and pins the girl down. He whispers in her ear, "Don't move. Be good." The girl says shyly, "Younger uncle, if my dad knew you were using the excuse of persuading me to go on a blind date to fool around with me, what would he think?" Hearing the girl say this, the uncle's hand suddenly loosens. Jiang Minxian is just Jiang Yi's collateral relative, but a relative is still a relative. She ultimately cannot cross that moral red line. The reason Jiang Qingying can be so reckless is because she knows that the two relatives in the Jiang family are not blood related to her grandfather. The girl's hand touches her own lips as she says, "Are you scared?" Then the younger uncle wraps his arms around the girl. He slowly gets closer and closer to the girl. At this moment, he kisses the girl's lips. The younger uncle looks at the girl and says, "You drink a lot of milk today. So sweet." Afterward, the younger uncle goes downstairs. His cheeks are a little red. It happens to be seen by the girl's father. He gives him an inquisitive look. The younger uncle just nods, indicating that the matter is settled. Then the girl also comes down from upstairs. She throws the tie at her younger uncle and says, "Younger uncle, you left your tie in my room." The younger uncle puts on the tie. He says, "It's uncomfortable just staying at home." He says to his older brother, "I'll take Qingying to the opera house first." The girl's father is overjoyed and says, Good. Be careful on the road. I'll send you the hotel's address." Outside the house, the girl gets into her younger uncle's car. The younger uncle looks at the girl. The girl says the dark horse of the real estate world, the Zeus of the entertainment industry, Mr. Jiang Minxian, a man of both talent and looks, has in just 2 short years made his businesses show a trend of leaving all others in the dust. The younger uncle puts his arm around the girl's shoulder. He pulls her into his embrace and says, "You remember it so clearly. Do you like him?" The girl says, "Like what?" "The young master of the Liu family." Suddenly, the younger uncle's phone buzzes. It's a text message from the girl's father to the younger uncle. It's the hotel's address. The girl says from the side, "I originally didn't want to go, but I just saw a photo of the Liu family's young master. He seems quite good." The younger uncle turns off his phone. The girl draws circles on her younger uncle's chest. She says, "Although he's still a bit lacking compared to you, he's barely acceptable." The younger uncle grabs the girl's restless hand and says, "You have something on tonight. You're not free." "I don't have anything on." The younger uncle pulls the girl into his arms. Think about it again, carefully. The younger uncle is getting a little impatient. "Minxian, the way I am now is all you're doing. If you want to call this a fateful connection, I was the one who pulled the strings. I've had a devilish nature since I was young, and I was the most rebellious. But the most unconventional thing I ever did was in my 19th year. I climbed into Jiang Minxuan's bed. After a while, they arrived at Meiyuan. The girl gets out of the car. "I'll go back by myself tonight." The younger uncle caresses the girl's face. "I can come pick you up today. Qingying, you need to be a little more obedient." The girl pushes the uncle away. "If you keep nagging like this, I'll really consider changing my bed partner. Bye." The girl's words make the younger uncle very angry. The younger uncle watches the girl's retreating figure. She always has that smile, neither happy nor sad. But she wasn't like this the first time he saw her. When they were children, the girl's father brought the boy home for the first time. This boy was Jiang Minxian, the girl's younger uncle, to compensate for the psychological trauma caused by the death of both his parents. He gave him everything he could. Jiang Qingying was raised by her mother. That day, the girl's mother personally handed the girl over to her father, Jiang Yi. The girl cried very sadly, not wanting to be separated from her mother. From beginning to end, she refused to call Jiang Yi father. She even wanted to leave the Jiang family. One day, the girl tried to run away with her school bag. In the end, she was caught by her father. He locked the girl in a cage. He told the girl, "When you admit you're wrong, I'll let you out." The girl cried very sadly in the cage. That night, it was pouring rain. At this time, the boy walked in. He gently kicked the cage. The girl stared blankly at the boy and said, Younger uncle, gritting your teeth to make others suffer is called courage. Forcing yourself to suffer is called being a lunatic. You should think about it." After the boy finished speaking, he went back to his room. After hearing the boy's words, the girl thought it through. "Dad, let me out. Dad, I was wrong." The girl kept shouting there. On a quiet night, only the sound of the girl's crying could be heard. The girl cried so miserably. She cried while saying, "Mom." The girl missed her mother very much. Even in her sleep, she kept murmuring, "Dad, I was wrong." Then the boy saw that the girl's eyes were red from crying. He quickly wiped away her tears. The girl felt a hand wiping her tears. Just as this hand was about to pull back, she immediately grabbed it. The girl probably missed her mother too much and directly mistook the boy for her mother. So the boy gently patted the girl's chest and sang a lullaby, allowing the girl to sleep peacefully. End of flashback. Afterward, Min Xian went to Shitting Waterfront. Such a luxurious house was very empty. I still don't have the courage to bring you back here. This place has always been missing a hostess. The maid who had taken care of him for many years said, "Young master, you're back. Since you're back, young master, you should go home and have a look." The house hasn't felt lively for a long time. Hearing this, Min Xian paused for a moment and said, "Jenny, you've worked hard all these years." The maid sighed and said, "I haven't worked hard. It's the young master who has had a hard. Since the master and mistress passed away in the car accident, I've seen how much you've suffered." "What have I suffered? Since my parents passed away, my older brother brought me home immediately. He has treated me well all these years, yet I'm ungratefully thinking about his daughter." "Young master, if you've made up your mind, why not just tell Master Jiang directly?" At this moment, only the sound of the rain pattering outside could be heard. The room was quiet. After a while, Min Xian said, "Jenny, have you cooked? I miss your cooking." Min Chuan's answer was clearly avoiding the previous question. The maid said, "Xiao Zhang called early this morning. The meal has been ready for a while." So Min Xian walked into the living room to eat. Just as he was about to pick up his bowl to eat, his subordinate came in to report, "Young master, I've inquired about the Liu family matter. That young master Liu is gentlemanly and innocent, with a good temperament." Min Xian said, "Innocent or not, it doesn't matter. What I want is to make him not innocent. I only want that result." The subordinate replied, "Young master, I'll go and do it right away." Welcome to the Midday Live broadcast. Today's report, sudden weather changes in many areas, with heavy rain falling abruptly. We remind everyone to pay attention to safety when traveling. After hearing this, Min Xian worried about the girl's safety. He put on a trench coat, grabbed an umbrella, and said to his subordinate, "Take me to Meiyuan first." Later in the car, the subordinate said, "Young master." Miss Jiang said there's no need to pick her up. Min Xian asked, "Where is she?" Miss Jiang said that having dinner alone is a bit boring. She's going to the Marriott Hotel to see what's going on. Then, Min Chuan's subordinate, Xiao Zhang, sent a text message to the girl. "Miss Jiang will be there soon." The girl smiled. "Much faster than I thought." Lu Jiayu saw the girl sitting there and smiled. He said, "Miss Jiang, were you looking at that so amusing?" "Nothing, just a joke." She thought to herself, to be fair, Lu Jiayu is indeed quite good. But men are troublesome and energy-consuming. For this kind of time-wasting thing, one person is enough. Then Uncle Lu suddenly had something urgent to attend to and had to leave. "I'll have tea with you another day." "Hey, no." The girl finished speaking and got up to leave. The girl's father said angrily, "What's so urgent that you have to leave right now?" The girl turned back and said, "Our opera house is on fire." The rain outside was getting heavier and heavier, but the girl still stubbornly walked out, because the girl knew her younger uncle would come to pick her up. Min Xian looked at the girl angrily. He took off his jacket and draped it over the girl's head. The girl smiled smugly. Min Xian said very angrily, "You can still smile?" At night, Min Xian bare-chested held the girl. Clothes were scattered all over the floor. With a splash, he was drawing a bath for the girl. The girl, blushing, lay in the bathtub. She said, "I wasn't even caught in the rain. You're the one who got me all wet." Min Xian pinched the girl's cheek and said, "Don't you try that with me. Younger uncle, we've been intimate for so long. Sooner or later my dad will find out. Why don't you give my dad an explanation? Marry me." Min Xian knew he couldn't cross that red line, but he also couldn't bear to part with this woman who was etched into his bones. Sometimes he really wanted to turn himself into a mindless beast and possess her completely. Min Xian suddenly picked up the girl and threw her onto the bed. He bumped the girl's foot. He pressed his body down and said, "Are you retaliating because of this?" The girl wrapped her arms around his shoulders and said, "If you won't marry me, then let's just see who can last longer like this. I said 4 years ago that I would not get married." The girl was very disappointed. "Min Xian, how old was I 4 years ago? How old am I now? I can agree to anything except marrying you." After hearing this, the girl pushed him away. "Who cares? Don't be so full of yourself. Sooner or later, I will get married. I will have a bunch of cute children, and they will surround you, calling you granduncle, granduncle." "Min Xian, that person doesn't have to be you." Hearing the girl say this, Min Xian turned over and lay down. Suddenly, he reached out and pulled the girl into his arms. The girl teased him, then gently kissed his neck. She even licked it with her tongue. Min Xian turned over, pressed the girl down, and kissed her. Their hands were intertwined, fingers locked. After a while, Min Xian was covered in sweat. He said softly, "Jiang Qingying, you can only stay by my side in this life. You asked for this." The next morning, Min Xian found that the girl had caught a cold. Her body was very hot, her fever reaching 38.6 degrees Celsius. He said, "This is what you get for messing around." The girl sat up unsteadily. Min Xian draped a coat over her. He picked the girl up. He took her to the hospital. He walked straight ahead, then suddenly stopped. It turned out the door was blocking their way, so the girl opened the door. Today was the day of the girl's stage performance. Even if the girl were dying of fever, she had to go. The girl was on an 4 drip at the hospital. Min Xian was by her side, accompanying her. They looked at each other. The doctor came in, coughed a few times, and said, "Miss Jiang, you've taken fever medicine. After the drip is finished, get some good rest, and you'll be fine." The girl said to Min Xian, "If I finish the drip, I'll be late. I've already taken fever medicine. I'll be fine. You know what my master is like. If my performance is ruined today, I might as well be half dead." Min Xian picked up his phone and said, "You just focus on getting better and resting. I'll take care of everything else." The girl frowned and said loudly, "This is my big debut performance. I want to sing, I have to sing. Do you understand?" Min Xian said impatiently, "Since you want to sing, have to sing. Why did you mess around last night?" The girl instantly jumped up and said, "Let me tell you, if it weren't for you last night, I wouldn't have caught a cold." "Min Xian, I don't need you to make decisions for me. Is that clear enough?" As she spoke, the girl subconsciously went to pull out the 4 needle. Suddenly, Min Xian grabbed the girl's hand. "If you really want to cause a scene, I'll accompany you after the drip is done." The girl's legs were unsteady. She suddenly sat down on the floor. She said sadly, "I'll kneel for you. I must perform on stage today." Min Xian, worried about the girl's hand, grabbed it and placed it on his own leg. The girl looked at him, angry and helpless. She said pitifully, "This hand is still on a drip. If you want to chop one off, chop this one." Min Xian said, "What kind of nonsensical things are in your head?" Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. The girl was startled. She quickly grabbed Min Xuan's coat. She stuffed the coat under the blanket. Min Xian quickly put on his clothes. The girl's father had grown impatient. He pushed the door open. The moment he entered, the air suddenly became very quiet. The girl was sitting there properly. The girl's father was very confused. He didn't know what was going on. Min Xian hurriedly explained, "Qingying got caught in the rain yesterday. She has a bit of fever today." After the girl's father understood what had happened, his eyes were fierce as he said, "Do you not know how precious your uncle's time is? He's neglecting a big company to come here and be your nanny. Is that it?" The girl immediately sat up straight and said, "Yes. Anyway, since I was young, everything has been more important than me. I don't need you to manage me. It's your good brother who insists on staying here, insisting on getting me a doctor and giving me shots. Yesterday, you just left, leaving the Liu father and son there. Today, your uncle comes to take care of you, and you're still complaining. I think if no one disciplines you, you'll never know where you're wrong." The girl's father's angry words made the girl feel very scared. Suddenly, Min Xuan's hand pressed on his older brother's shoulder and said, "Qingying is still sick. I'm not busy today either. You should go out first." The girl's father rubbed his head and said helplessly, "You'll spoil her rotten sooner or later." Suddenly, the girl had an idea. She looked at the time. It was just right. The girl threw off the blanket and said, "I gave you a chance. If you don't chop this hand off now, you won't get another one." Min Xian frowned, looking at the girl. He took down the 4 bottle. She pulled Min Xian along as she walked, saying, "I'm not getting this drip. It's a waste. I'll get on the way. That should be fine, right?" Min Xian was always helpless when it came to the girl. The girl said coaxingly to Min Xian, "Please, I have to sing in this performance." Min Xian tapped the girl's forehead. He said, "No next time." Jiang Qingying is the apprentice of Kunku opera master Wu Yunan. The reason she sings is simple. It was because by a twist of fate, she went to listen to the opera with Jiang Yi. His words were full of contempt for so-called performers. Jiang Yi left right after watching. This woman clenched her fists, holding back her temper. If it weren't for giving face to Director Li, she wouldn't have come. Before leaving, he said to the girl, "You should learn less from their kind. Flowery words can't make it onto the big stage." The girl raised an eyebrow and looked at Jiang. After a while, the girl was pleading desperately. This woman, holding a teacup, said, "Take me as your apprentice. As long as I can learn, I can endure any hardship." After hearing the girl's words, this woman actually agreed to take the girl as her apprentice. The girl is serving tea to her master. She took the teacup, thinking to herself, "This child has talent, but she's full of stubborn flaws. If I don't make her shed a few drops of blood and tears, she'll never be able to command the stage in her life." Jiang Qingying did not disappoint her. Although no blood was shed, there was no shortage of tears and snot, because she remembered her words and never backed down. It can be seen that she has been practicing singing diligently. A few days later, the day of the performance arrived, but Jiang Qingying was late. She knelt before her master in silence, begging for forgiveness. Then, Jiang Minxian came to explain for the girl. I had something to ask Qingying, so I kept her. But her master said, that's not an excuse. As long as her legs aren't broken, she shouldn't have been late today. The girl let out a yawn. Master, no matter what, let me go on stage first. The master reprimanded the girl, saying, and you still remember you have to go on stage. The girl stood up and gave Minxian a signal, telling him to shut up. Then the girl left. The girl noticed someone in the dressing room. This person was the girl's junior sister. It turned out she was trying to steal the girl's chance to perform. As a result, the girl deliberately bumped the junior sister's hand. This caused the junior sister's eyebrow makeup to be smudged. The junior sister said angrily, who is it? Junior sister, why are you sitting in my seat? I was in such a hurry, and in a moment of carelessness. Look at this. What a pity. Hearing the girl say this, the junior sister's face changed with anger. The girl kept staring at her junior sister without blinking. The junior sister said, what are you looking at? The girl's hand slid across the table step by step. She asked, you tell me first, why are you sitting here? Then I'll tell you if I did it on purpose. The junior sister said self-righteously, it's because you were late. I was thinking of Mei Yuan. Should we let the guests wait in vain? So, you think you can save this performance that has no lead? For the greater good. The girl's hand rested on her junior sister's shoulder as she said, I can appreciate your good intentions. But today, even if we have to issue refunds, Master will not let anyone else go on stage. The junior sister said fiercely, why? I could do everything that you can. The girl pulled out a chair and sat down. She looked at herself in the mirror. Then she applied lipstick. She put on beautiful makeup. The junior sister looked at her with a venomous gaze. Jiang Qingying is too arrogant. So arrogant it's as if only she can sing and perform an entire Mei Yuan. Then the girl added, you can't even handle these few words, and you still want to take my place? Her words made the junior sister's face change. I heard people say that Master is keeping you for fun. I thought it was absurd. But now, looking at it, it's probably true. The junior sister couldn't bear it anymore and shouted, Jiang Qingying. The girl said to Li Yi, this costume, please take it to be cleaned properly. After it's done, bring it back and burn it under the pear tree. Li Yi patted the girl's chest and said, I know. Go on stage first, you little ancestor. The girl walked past her junior sister, giving her a fierce look. Then she went to the dressing room to change her clothes. Li Yi said to the junior sister, Miss Liu, please take off the costume and give it to me. The junior sister said aggrievedly, since she's going to burn it anyway, I like it and want to keep it. Just tell her it's already been burned. Li Yi got angry and said loudly, it's because this costume was worn by you that Qingying has to burn it. Miss Liu, sometimes other people's things don't necessarily suit you. The junior sister clenched her fists and frowned. Li Yi, I'm not easy to bully either. Even Master doesn't usually talk to me like that. After hearing this, Li Yi said, but I must advise you, being overambitious is a great taboo in learning opera. Mr. Wu dislikes Qingying's temper the most. You probably still don't understand. It's better not to really anger her. After saying that, Li Yi turned and left. Watching Qingying performing on stage, the junior sister's hands trembled because she really sang well. The junior sister was afraid she would never surpass her. Her master, however, said, it's barely presentable. Qingying still received her master's approval. After the performance, the girl was exhausted. She sat on the side to rest. After a while, she changed her clothes and came out. Tossing her hair, she thought, no matter how I sang today, the punishment I deserve is unavoidable. So the girl knelt down before her master. She didn't know how to begin. Suddenly, an idea struck her. The girl handed her master a wooden stick. After the master took the wooden stick, she thought to herself, she's quite sensible. It's been a long time since I've seen someone so eager to be punished. She threw the wooden stick back. I can't hit you now. You're successful now. The audience treasures you dearly. Hearing this, the girl looked up at her master. No matter when, if master should punish me, she must. I can take it. The master helped the girl up. You sang well today. For that alone, I don't want to punish you today. Next, the girl asked, what did my younger uncle say to you just now? Boss Jiang wants to acquire Mei Yuan. Did you agree? Nowadays, there aren't many companies willing to support Kunku Opera with real money. Boss Jiang wants to invest in Mei Yuan, and the terms he offered are not bad. Jiang Minchuan's businesses are mainly in film, television, and real estate. What's the deal with acquiring an opera house? So the girl called Minchuan's phone. and she walked out. Min Xian actually didn't answer the phone. Jiang Minxian is so annoying. The girl walked into the dressing room. It turned out Min Xian was with her junior sister. No wonder he didn't have time to answer the phone. Seeing this, the girl walked right between the two of them. Brother Min Xian, please don't mind her. Then she said in a low voice, she's the star of our opera house. She has a bit of a temper. I've heard a little about it. Hearing Min Xian say this, the girl raised an eyebrow and looked at them. She walked over. Qinchin's friend looks a bit familiar. Jiang Qingying would actually take the initiative to strike up a conversation, and in such an old-fashioned way. The girl's hand slowly moved towards Min Xuan's chest. Brother Min Xian, just how many good little sisters do you have? Why is every little sister so frail? Hearing this, Min Xian smiled. The girl pressed herself directly into his embrace. Min Xian grabbed the girl's restless hand. Don't mess around. He turned to the junior sister and said, goodbye, Miss Liu. Then the two of them left. The junior sister was both shocked and furious. Jiang Qingying is shameless, seducing men. Jiang Minxian, when did he become so easy for a woman to get close to? Then she sat down and sent a message. I thought he was abstinent and had no interest in women. The junior sister opened the wardrobe. She found that the costume inside was gone. She had clearly left it in this spot, ready to take it with her. Suddenly noticing something, the junior sister shouted, wait a minute. Li looked back. She directly threw the costume back into the furnace. The junior sister pushed Li away. The two of them started arguing. I will never admit defeat. How can a promiscuous and arrogant woman like Jiang Qingying be allowed to walk all over me? Inside the car, the girl gently bit Min Xuan's ear. Her hand slowly moved toward his chest. Min Xian pressed the girl down beneath him, his arm around her waist. He suddenly got up, but the girl hooked her arm around his neck. After a great battle, Min Xian draped his coat over the girl. The girl's face was bright red. She seemed to have no strength left. It's really not that comfortable in the car. Min Xian let out a deep sigh. Don't acquire Mei Yuan. Min Xian frowned, annoyed with you. The girl sat up, the draped coat slowly slipping off. I don't care how big your business is, but Mei Yuan is the lifeblood of my master and everyone at Mei Yuan. Don't touch it. You think my acquiring Mei Yuan will harm you? It's not that it has to be Mei Yuan. The company has a major film production about to start. I did indeed have my eye on Mei Yuan. Are you resisting the change to Mei Yuan, or are you resisting me? If even Mei Yuan has Jiang Minxuan's involvement, when the day comes that we part ways, I won't even have a quiet place to go. The two of them fell silent in the car. After a while, they arrived outside her home. The girl looked back. Aren't you coming in? I'm going to see Kai Qingyang. The girl turned to leave. Suddenly, the door wouldn't pull open. It turned out Min Xian had embraced the girl from behind. The girl was shocked. Are you crazy? Jiang, he might be home. Yet he was holding her here without a care. If this isn't crazy, what is? Then Min Xian left. The girl's heart was pounding. Her face was so red. How can there be such a domineering and unreasonable person? Afterward, Jiang Minxian went to the Wancheng bar. It was very noisy inside. He saw a man holding a woman. The man suddenly noticed Min Xian had arrived. Min Xian loosened his tie and sat down. This man saw that Min Xuan's neck was covered in red marks. You guys play pretty rough, huh? The skin is broken. So, is the Mei Yuan contract signed? Find another one. I'm not acquiring Mei Yuan. The man frowned. It's for Jiang Qingying again, isn't it? This person is going to be the death of Jiang Qingying in this lifetime. Acquiring Mei Yuan isn't bad for her either. Then she can do whatever she wants in there, and you'll cover for her. What's there to disagree with? This matter was very frustrating for Min Xian. I said find another one. The man was helpless. The news that filming would take place at Mei Yuan has already been released. Do you know how many people you'll offend by backing out now? 4 years ago, if it wasn't for her wanting some sense of security, will we have ruined 50% of the shares in the Jiang family's hands? His face quickly darkened. You'll be finished by this woman's hands sooner or later. Don't forget, I'm also a member of the Jiang family. Jiang, he raised me. I grew up with Jiang Minxian. We were so close we could share a pair of pants. The only thing I'm not happy about is that night when Jiang Qingying was 19. She climbed into Jiang Minxuan's bed. You have to give me an explanation for the film crew. No explanation needed. If they don't agree, pull the funding. The man stood up, very angry. Pull the funding? You might as well pull me. I was the one who finalized the Mei Yuan idea in the first place. I didn't expect this result. It's like lifting a rock only to drop it on my own foot. I can agree, but I have one condition. Min Xian told him to say it. Apart from the male and female leads, I get to decide the other actors in the drama. Min Xian agreed, as long as it doesn't involve her. You're being quite agreeable. She doesn't know about that matter. It's not her fault. Don't always hold it against her. The man pointed at himself and said, I'm holding it against her. Well, has there ever been a problem where you didn't side with her? Is she the type to be taken advantage of? He thought to himself. Today, in front of Miss Liu, his reaction was like he was jealous. He clearly couldn't hold back his anger, yet he couldn't stand seeing me with other women. He just had to come up and flirt with me. Min Xian stood up, ready to go back. Wait, a few actresses from the crew are coming over later. Aren't you staying to meet them? There are many beautiful female stars. The man gave a sinister smile. The reason Jiang Minxian is so infatuated is probably because he has never properly looked at other women. As long as he's willing to open his eyes, he'll find that there are plenty of women more beautiful and gentle than Jiang Qingying. What are you looking at me for? With me here, you're not much to look at. He still didn't know what he meant. Suddenly, he reacted and said, damn. Jiang Yi introduced to the Liu family Jiang Minxian, my younger brother. The recent business dark horse that has taken the industry by storm is actually Jiang Yi's brother. For Jiang Yi, this is like adding wings to a tiger. They both looked at Jiang Minxian at the same time. Looking closely, uncle and brother Minxian do look a bit alike. But how is the age difference so big? Miss Liu's words made the two brothers very embarrassed. Shinshun, don't talk too much. Jiang Yi patted his brother's shoulder. A large age gap doesn't mean anything. But Jiang Minxian is my one and only brother. My own brother. I've seen you from a distance a few times before. I didn't expect Shun to actually know you. A pleasure to meet you. The two of them shook hands amicably. The Jiang family and the Liu family could be either enemies or friends. If their children were fated to be together, they would become solid in-laws. I didn't expect these two to actually have an uncle-niece relationship. His face darkened. The boy smiled on the surface, but said nothing. Then the girl arrived and sat down. The boy looked at the girl's somewhat revealing clothes, and his face quickly darkened. The girl was quite gloating. Young Master Liu noticed that Qingying's mood changes all seemed to be because of Minxian. Qingying, I just promised to let Liu Jiayu appreciate that piece of calligraphy by Zhang Hai. Why don't you take him upstairs to see it? The girl looked at the boy. You don't know where it is. I'll take young Master Liu. I think I remember where I put it now, he said as he stood up. The boy's face quickly darkened. He watched the two of them leave. The girl unrolled the calligraphy scroll. As she was about to leave, Miss Jiang, are you planning to leave me here alone? She turned back and said, appreciating the wind and the moon requires quiet. I suppose appreciating books and paintings is the same. I'm here alone. Scared? The girl smiled. She's indeed a bit interesting. Uncle Jiang said the style upstairs is all to your liking. You look quite young. I didn't expect you to like Chinese culture so much. The girl nodded cutely, which made young Master Liu look disgusted. Do you hate me? The girl's hand slowly slid across the calligraphy. I wouldn't say hate, but I don't like you. Hearing the girl say this, young Master Liu was so angry he could spit blood. Uncle Jiang and my father are of the same mind. Jiang Qingying, I think I like you. The girl laughed out loud. Did you never like anyone when you were a child? Young Master Liu covered his face helplessly. Believe it or not, what I'm saying has nothing to do with our two families. What to do then? I already have someone I like. Jiang Qingying has someone she likes. I had already guessed. Those love stories that don't fit the social status. But in the face of reality, they are all just bubbles. The girl sat down. In this life, I will only love him. If I can't have his love, I will die. And he can only love me. Now that I've said it like this, do you understand? Next, young Master Liu asked who that person was. Then the boy came in. Young Master Liu raised an eyebrow and looked at the boy. The girl was very pleased with herself. He instantly understood that there was an ambiguous relationship between them. He bent down and said to the girl, it's also true that you might not be able to have his love. Young Master Liu shrugged. They are both Uncle Zhang's beloved treasures. I don't want to part with either of them. The boy frowned upon hearing this. The girl looked back at young Master Liu. At night, the Liu family had already left. The subordinate helped Jiang Yi to rest. The boy asked the girl, what did you two talk about? We talked about a lot. I don't want to repeat it. He suddenly grabbed the girl's hand and walked out. I want to hear it. Tell me slowly, from beginning to end. The boy draped his coat over the girl. I feel that sometimes us being like this is quite meaningless. The boy's face immediately darkened. That's not what I asked. You say what's between us is meaningless. You better explain yourself clearly. The girl turned around. You know very well. It's not because of other people. The boy grabbed the girl's hands and pinned them above her head. I don't care what the reason is. He moved closer to the girl's ear. He whispered, you can't hide things from me. After speaking, he kissed the girl. Liu Jiayu said he likes me. I rejected him. The girl bit her lip, deciding to go all out, even if it means losing the upper hand for once. I said I have a lover. I'll die if I can't have his love. I said he loved me very much too. The boy was instantly plunged into pain. The girl's voice trembled, tears welling in her eyes. I don't know if it's possible in this lifetime, but I want to hear these words from you. I have fantasized countless times about being a pure and innocent couple with him. But what was the result? The girl saw the boy's silence. She instantly lowered her head. There's nothing to be done then. This woman is a poisonous flower. She's afraid she can't stop until she poisons herself. Then the boy said, "It's windy. Let's go inside." The girl looked up at the boy. "After I rehearsed these lines for so long, you're just going to brush me off like that? I don't like this line. I won't say it, and neither will you. What's it to you?" The girl's body trembled slightly. She forced a smile. "Jiang Minxian, you can't control me. Qingying, you were the one who provoked me first. I can't let you go, and I can't just leave you be." He gently stroked the girl's head. "Go inside and sleep. I'm going out for a bit." The girl immediately grabbed the boy's tie. "Say it again. Say you won't marry me. I have to remember it. Otherwise, when I wake up tomorrow, I'll have forgotten how much it hurts again. I will not get married. Never in this lifetime. If it means embarrassing my older brother, I can go my whole life without marrying Qingying. But if it's not marrying Qingying, I will never marry in this life. Other than that, I am willing to face old age, sickness, death, poverty, or wealth with her." Then the boy left. The next morning, the girl was dressed very beautifully. "I'll take you. Thank you, younger uncle." The girl walked around the front of the car to the right side, clearly avoiding the boy. The girl got into the passenger seat. The boy's subordinate, Xiao Zhang, was very alarmed. "Why is the young miss sitting here?" The subordinate peeked at the boy in the back seat. His face looked grim. Then he tore open the breakfast bag and handed it to the girl. "Eat your breakfast." The boy still cared about the girl. The girl took the breakfast, took a bite, and put it down. Then the boy handed the girl another breakfast item. The girl was still very perfunctory. She took one bite and put it down. This cycle repeated. This way, the girl should be full by now. They arrived at Meiyuan. The girl said to the boy's subordinate, "You don't need to come pick me up today. I'll go back by myself after work." The subordinate looked awkward. "I don't have much to do today. I'll come in the afternoon to watch your performance and take you home." The girl was stubborn. "No need. Miss Jiang, don't say it to me. It's truly a case of when gods fight, mortals suffer. Sing well." The girl got out of the car and slammed the door hard. The subordinate was scared and trembling. The subordinate mistakenly thought the boy was going to deal with the girls. Leftover breakfast. So he said, "Young master, I'll clean this up." Who would have thought? The boy picked up the breakfast and casually ate it. "Come here an hour earlier tonight." The subordinate sighed. "Okay." In the business world, the young master is such a noble and proud man. But in front of Jiang Qingying, he is as humble as a beggar shivering in the cold wind. The subordinate couldn't bear to look. Inside Meiyuan, the master asked the girl why boss Jiang changed his mind. The acquisition became a sponsorship. The contract was almost signed yesterday. The girl's face was grim. "I don't know. Does it have anything to do with you?" "No." "Did you two have a fight?" The girl snorted. "Whatever you have to say in private, say it in private. Acquiring Meiyuan is such a big deal. You didn't give me a heads up beforehand. Now, for no reason at all, it's off. You two truly deserve to be uncle and niece." "Master, I didn't know about this beforehand, so I couldn't give you a heads up." The master sat down with a headache. "I made this decision hastily. It's good that Meiyuan remains in my hands. If my own child was willing to take over Meiyuan, I would never have considered selling it. Although there's a turnaround now, it's still uncertain." Suddenly, her phone rang. The girl's face lit up with joy. "It's still Qingying who is filial, making me this phone charm. The silk thread is comfortable to use and looks good." "Master, answer your phone. I'll be going out first." The master looked at her phone. Just as the girl was about to leave, she called out to her, "Qingying, Ishu is coming back in a few days." "Coming back to see you, master? That's great. The past is in the past. Ishu was still young back then. You were all young back then." The girl was very happy. "Master, I know. Ishu is not interested in kunko opera. Qingying, you'll always be my only apprentice." "Master, it's enough that you know it yourself. You don't need to tell me. Ishu is the master's daughter. Even if the master doesn't say it, I know in my heart. She loves this daughter to the bone. It was right here back then. I was practicing my performance on stage. Ishu pushed me from behind. I fell directly off the stage. Ishu said wickedly, 'Jiang Qingying, go to hell.' She caused me to be admitted directly to the intensive care unit. The boy was extremely fierce. Sue Ishu until she atones with her death. The girl's father was also very fierce. My, Jiang Yi's daughter is not to be trifled with." Later, the master knelt before the girl, begging her to forgive her own daughter. From then on, Ishu went abroad. We haven't seen each other in 6 or 7 years. The one who wanted to kill me back then. The pain in my heart is rising again. I am Minchuan's girlfriend. You are just his niece. The girl let out a deep sigh. The girl walked into the living room. They were shocked to see the girl come in. The girl looked very awkward. She suddenly tapped the little boy on the head. What are you looking at? So young, and you already know how to stare at pretty girls. Sistering, don't be afraid. Everyone is looking at her. No one paid any attention to her when she came back. The girl ruffled the little boy's hair. What do you know? Don't listen to their nonsense. I was almost 10 years old back then. Sistering was pushed off the stage. It was all over the city. How could I not remember it clearly? Then Li walked in. Everyone disperse. Don't crowd around here. Qingying, we were afraid that you... Li hadn't finished her sentence. She was interrupted by the girl. I'm not a child anymore. Wani Shu can't do anything to me. Mr. Wu said she will be staying at Meiyuan for a while. You don't need to pay any attention to her. You were the one who was wronged in this matter. We also know your temper. I have my temper, but she is the master's daughter. I won't do anything extra. As long as she behaves herself, I'll bury the past. After speaking, the girl turned and left. Xiaoing has indeed grown up. Next, Li Yi came to find the girl, telling her that a film crew would be coming tomorrow to shoot on location. This time is different from before. I heard they will also pick 2 suitable people to participate in a competition. I have no interest in acting at all. Don't count me in. Li Yi sighed. The investors of this drama have sponsored our opera house. If they need 2 people to help with a cameo, I'm afraid it will be hard to refuse. I know the investors. If they want me to kneel and act for them, I will. After speaking, the girl left. The girl walked out of Meiyuan, but she found that only Xiao Zhang had come pick her up. Xiao Zhang said awkwardly, Miss Jiang, please get in the car. What on earth did the young master say to this little ancestor? He said he would pick her up tonight. Now look, where is he? She suddenly turned the steering wheel. The car stopped in front of the girl. He got out of the car. He invited the girl to get in. The girl frowned. Is Jiang Minxin dead? This made Xiao Zhang incoherent. He stammered out, and no. She asked Xiao Zhang, then where is he? He had an urgent meeting at the last minute. The boss rushed over, but he specifically instructed me to come and pick Xiao Zhang up. Before he could finish, the girl got into the car angrily. I'm just an ordinary driver. But where did I go wrong? I became the driver for these 2, and neither of them is easy to deal with. After a while, they arrived at her home. The girl got out of the car and looked around, as if searching for something. Miss Jiang, did you drop something? Suddenly, she bent down and picked up a brick. With a loud crash, it scared Xiao Zhang so much that he quickly turned his head to look. This unsettled Xiao Zhang. It turned out the girl had picked up a brick and smashed the boy's car window. The girl was very pleased. Just take a picture like this and send it to him. So Xiao Zhang took a picture of the shattered glass. He sent it to the young master. Suddenly, he received a call from the young master. He said fiercely, what happened to the car? The girl suddenly leaned over. Xiao Zhang was very nervous. Miss Jiang smashed it. The boy shouted, Jiang Qingying, are you crazy? The girl smiled. This young lady is in a good mood today. Otherwise, I would have smashed the other side for you too. The boy cursed. Do you think you're still a child? That you don't have to be responsible for your actions? This is just ridiculous. Before the boy could finish his words, the girl hung up on him. She patted Xiao Zhang's shoulder. Thanks for your hard work. After Xiao Zhang saw the girl leave, he dialed the boy's number. She went back. Miss Jiang has already gone inside. Just as you guessed. After smashing the glass, her mood is good. It seems much better. Is her hand injured? It's a very small cut. It seems the skin is a little broken. Send some medicine over. Jiang Qingying is afraid of pain. Don't buy alcohol. That kind of stimulant will hurt. Get her some anti-inflammatory. Then he hung up. Young master, did you forget to ask about your beloved car? Xiao Zhang caressed the car, saying painfully, we're comrades in arms. After all, I genuinely feel for you. By evening, the girl lay in bed thinking. Although today was full of frustrations, ever since smashing Jiang Minchuan's car, things were definitely much better. My behavior just now was not in line with my image as a law-abiding citizen. Then Xiao Zhang brought the girl medicine and dinner. I don't eat at night. I have to maintain my figure. You can finish it for me. After speaking, the girl closed the door. Xiao Zhang was suddenly embarrassed. Xiao Zhang dialed the boy's number. Miss Jiang wants to maintain her figure. She's not eating dinner. The boy smiled. The boy's good friend, Kai Qingyang, saw the boy smile. What the hell? What's so funny about the PPT? Then the boy walked out. I'm going to Meiyuan tomorrow for location scouting. Do you want to go together? You're going in person? I'm not needed for tomorrow's meeting anyway. It's a good time for the opening shoot. And to meet the Liu family's daughter. The boy warned Kai Qingyang not to provoke Qingying. As long as she doesn't try to get close to me, I couldn't be bothered with her. This social butterfly has a preference for high walls, a precious flower in the grand courtyard. The people around her change frequently, but they're all people of status. Other people's daughters aren't afraid of things going wrong. The reason things haven't gone wrong is because of my gentleness. In high school, it was often just me and Jiang Minxian together in the vast empty house. We didn't talk much to each other, but at least we knew someone was there with us. Later, Jiang Minxian went to university, worked, and started his own business. Like Jiang, he often didn't come home. This house was left with only me. Then the boy walked into the girl's room. The boy sat on the edge of the girl's bed. Suddenly, the girl sensed him. She grabbed the boy's hand and said in shock and anger, "It's so late. What are you doing?" The boy asked the girl, "It's already past midnight. Why aren't you asleep yet? Let me see your hand." The girl immediately sat up, her eyes wide as she looked at the boy. The boy carefully examined the girl's injured finger. He gently applied medicine for the girl. His movements were very gentle. The girl became a little shy. A smile appeared on the boy's face. She looked at the finger the boy had bandaged for her, her heart blooming with joy. The boy stroked the girl's hair. "Are you hungry? There's food downstairs." The girl shook her head. "Not hungry." The boy touched the girl's stomach. "You didn't eat anything tonight. How could you not be hungry? I bought the wontons from that late-night stall outside the school. Are you sure you don't want any?" The girl looked at the boy with puffed cheeks. The boy chuckled lightly. He got up and hugged the girl. The girl looked at the wontons in front of her, her eyes shining. Her mouth watered with greed. After eating, she lay down on the bed. So pathetic, coaxed by just a bowl of wontons. Then the boy came in. He lay down beside the girl, his hand wrapped around the girl's waist, holding her from behind. Wu Yishu is coming back in a few days. Suddenly, the room fell silent. This was what they had begged for back then. Back then, they vowed that she would never be allowed to return to the country for the rest of her life. Those solemn words have been completely forgotten today. Let go, forgive, and forget. She hasn't had it easy abroad all these years. Suddenly, the boy sat up and caressed the girl's face. "Why are you suddenly speaking up for her? Is it because of your master?" Wu Yunan is a teacher I will respect for the rest of my life. Whether she was good to me or strict, for me as a child, master was the only one who cared if I was cold or warm, naughty or not. Then the girl said, "No." The boy smiled. "Could it be that you're still jealous?" He slowly moved closer to the girl. "Then what is it?" Suddenly, she pushed the boy away. "Because she was your little lover. The matter between me and Wu Yishu is actually very simple. I don't quite understand why Jiang Qingying is so hung up on those 2 months. Even if Jiang Yi wasn't that good to him, the Jiang family could just consider themselves unlucky, who let their daughter seduce him first. But from then on, Jiang Yi treated me better and better. It made me despise myself from the bottom of my heart." Jiang Yi patted the boy's shoulder. "Minxian is becoming more and more successful. To be so greedily enjoying another man's fatherly love while still having designs on his daughter." This went on for a year or two, forcing Jiang Minxian to entertain the thought of breaking up with Jiang Qingying. Wu Yishu appeared at that time. Her eyes were fixed on the boy. So handsome. The boy was happiest when he was with the girl. Yishu knew that only by getting close to the girl could she get close to the boy. She took a step forward and called out enthusiastically, "Qingying." The girl frowned. "Trying to get close to me to get close to Minxian? In your dreams." Afterward, the boy and the girl went back. Yishu was furious. She clenched her fists. "Jiang Qingying took my mother, and now even the person I like, Jiang Qingying, has to make things difficult for me." What frustrated her even more was that Jiang Minxian was very cold to her, but he was always smiling, coaxing, and indulging Jiang Qingying. That day, Jiang Minxian shook off Jiang Qingying, who had been chasing him relentlessly. He turned around and received Ishu's confession. The boy said coldly and heartlessly, "I don't like you." Ishu was heartbroken upon hearing this. "How do you know if you don't try? You're sure you won't like me?" "Minxian, give me a chance, okay?" All of this was seen by the girl over there. The boy noticed the girl watching from a distance. He suddenly took the diary from Ishu's hand. The girl was shocked to see this action. Ishu said happily, "I knew you liked me." And so they got together. During that time, the girl tried to find the boy many times, but was always blocked by Wu Yishu. The most vicious words were none other than mocking Jiang Qingying, this niece, for her filthy thoughts. The girl struggled, hated, and broke down. Even now, the girl can't understand why Jiang Minxian changed into a different person overnight, why he wanted to stay away from her. Wu Yishu, on the other hand, was immersed in the pleasure of having the upper hand. She went even further to make things unpleasant for Jiang Qingying, even hiring people to humiliate her. The girl hid alone in a corner, covered in wounds. Suddenly, the boy found the girl. He reached out and picked the girl up in his arms. After taking the girl home, The next day, he broke up with Wu Ishu. Ishu grabbed the boy's hand, but she was heartlessly shaken off by the boy. Ishu said sadly, "Why? I love you so much." The boy's face was grim as he said, "What do you think you are? If it weren't for these 2 months, it wouldn't have been as simple as just a breakup." Ishu cried sadly. "It's laughable to think about. This is the first time I've touched Jiang Minxian in these 2 months, but I definitely don't want to let go." She was angry and in pain. Finally, on the third day after Jiang Minxian and Jiang Qingying got back together, she couldn't help but run to the Jiang family to demand an explanation. It was raining heavily that day. She wanted just a glance from Jiang Minxian. In the pouring rain, she saw him and Jiang Qingying kissing in the Jiang family's courtyard. The next day, Ishu pushed Jiang Qingying off the stage. "I can't stand the pain, even if it means sacrificing myself. I want Jiang Qingying to have a taste of it." The girl was unconscious in the emergency room. The boy almost strangled Wu Ishu to death in the hospital. The boy's furious expression looked like he was about to eat someone. A lot of people came then. Jiang Yi, Wu Yunan, the police. A group of people crowded outside the emergency room. In the end, the police took Ishu away, and only then did the boy calm down. At 2 or 3 in the morning, the boy and the girl fell asleep together. The next morning, the girl picked up her phone and looked at the message from the boy. "You're awake. Eat breakfast. I'll pick you up later. Be good." The girl weakly touched her head. Lying in bed, she thought, "A Jiang Minxian like this, can I ever be apart from him in this lifetime?" Inside Meiyuan, Kai Chengyang came to see the young lady of the Liu family. Kai Chengyang hadn't seen the girl in a long time. The girl couldn't stand the sight of him. He looked down on the girl. The two of them intentionally or unintentionally avoided each other, even when they were both in contact with the boy. To have not met for 2 or 3 years is not easy. This time, they unexpectedly ran into each other. The young lady of the Liu family looked at the girl with a grim face. She suddenly pushed Kai Chengyang away. Kai Chengyang began to speak. "I think Miss Liu's voice is very pleasant. I wonder if Miss Liu would be interested in guiding a few of our actors." In the entire Meiyuan, everyone either fawns over or protects Jiang Qingying. It's rare to have someone like Kai Chengyang who dares to slap her in the face like this. The girl was putting on makeup in the dressing room. Liu Chunshan said pretentiously, "All right then, I'll go ask my senior sister for permission." The girl turned to Chunshan and said, "There's no need for you on stage anyway. If the investors need you to train people, then you should go." Hearing this, she immediately became furious. The girl stood up and gently patted her shoulder. "Listen to the investors. I'm going on stage first." Chunshan, angry, pushed Kai Chengyang away. Then she left. Kai Chengyang noticed the girl after she had changed her costume. He said a few words, telling her to sing well, and that he would reward her handsomely later for a good performance. The girl smiled and went on stage to perform. Below, Kai Chengyang sat watching. The girl's performance was indeed outstanding. After a while, Kai Chengyang actually fell asleep watching. When he woke up again, the girl had already finished her performance. Kai Chengyang noticed Chunshan sitting there. He took a few steps forward to Chunshan. "Miss Liu," he said cheerfully, "were you watching so intently?" Chunshan looked displeased. "Are you blind or deaf? She's already finished singing." Is Miss Liu perhaps talking about those wilting flowers? Is this the kind of top-tier talent you have, May Garden? Did she offend you? Kai Chengyang waved his hand dismissively. "Her? Is she even worthy of offending me? You're targeting her like this. It's not because I used to pursue her and failed, is it? And now you feel bitter about it." Hearing Chunshan say this, Kai Chengyang was so angry he practically spat that "I'm not out of my mind. Why would I be interested in her? But I have a buddy who is hopelessly obsessed with her. He dropped everything for her. Do you think I'd have any interest in a menace like that?" Chunshan frowned. "You have a love-struck fool like that among your friends. This guy, Jiang Minxian, if it weren't for Jiang Qingying, he wouldn't be a love-struck fool in 10 lifetimes. If you have to blame someone, blame that woman for being too cunning." Chunshan's expression suddenly changed. "She's skilled. What can you do about it?" Kai Chengyang stood up and walked over. Facing them, he said, 1 minute on stage, 10 years of practice off stage. The audience nowadays isn't stupid. These tricks you've learned at the last minute, you think they can't see through them? Miss Jiang has now completed her training. Her posture and movements have a unique charm. These two are about your height. There are few shots with certain movements. Could I ask you to be a substitute? The girl reluctantly turned her head and said, "Where is the person Boss Kai is looking for?" Down below, Chunshan's face changed with anger. "Miss Liu is certainly not a bad singer, but her figure is different from our actress. Miss Jiang wouldn't be unwilling to help with this, would she? Since it's the investor's request, I will naturally cooperate. The girl asked the two actresses, which part are you not proficient in? Kai Qingyang quickly said, it's the move where you faint and fall down the slope. Move back quickly. We can't afford to offend either of them. The girl quickly stepped back a few paces. Then I'll have to trouble Boss Kai to step aside. The girl stood there quietly and began to perform. The girl's movements were perfectly executed. She suddenly pretended to faint, lost her balance, and fell. Kai Qingyang clapped his hands at a good fall, worthy of being the protege Mr. Wu has cultivated for so many years. The girl frowned and looked at him. Kai Qingyang said sternly, you turned too slowly just now. The camera caught your face. I'm afraid we'll have to trouble you to do it again. The girl could only say, all right. She then performed it all over again. Kai Qingyang, deliberately making things difficult, said, the costume wasn't arranged properly. It covered your figure. The girl performed it again. But Kai Qingyang said, the headpiece doesn't match the actresses. It needs to be changed. Do it again. He looked very pleased. He hadn't expected Jiang Qingying to be so obedient. The girl flicked her hair. I need some water. Of course. While drinking water, the girl glanced at the door over there. 10 minutes later, the girl began to perform again. Her expression suddenly darkened. Hearing the boys' approaching footsteps, she suddenly fell to the ground with force, pretending to collapse. The girl stared at Kai Qingyang. Kai Qingyang was mocking her. The boy saw the girl on the ground, and his face changed instantly. He put his arm around the girl's waist. He picked the girl up. The boy's expression was fierce. The hand holding the girl was trembling. The girl looked at the boy with a wronged expression. Then she looked at Kai Qingyang. Kai Qingyang was completely terrified. Miss Jiang, are you all right? You scared me to death just now. How could you be so careless and fall like that? The girl said pitifully, it's nothing. But looking like this now, I'm afraid I can't help Boss Kai anymore. I'm truly sorry. With a wronged look, she burrowed into the boy's arms that it's over. Jiang Qingying is trying to get me killed. Kai Qingyang spoke up. It looks like a real fall. I'll drive her to the hospital to get it checked. The boy said angrily, are you insane? Kai Qingyang's face darkened. She fell on her own. Are you going to blame me for that too? The boy shoved his hand. Don't fucking take me for a fool. Kai Qingyang pointed at the boy in anger. Who's the one taking you for a fool? How come nothing happened the first 2 times, but the moment you arrive, she gets injured? The girl clutched the boy's clothes that I'm tired. I want to rest. The boy roared coldly. Stop filming this drama. No one is to resume filming without permission. No one. After saying this, he left, carrying the girl. Kai Qingyang's hands clenched into fists. What do you mean? If you want to pull my funding, say it clearly. The boy took the girl to the hospital for a full-body checkup. He even forced her to go to the dental department. Kai Qingyang said, I fell on purpose. Does Jiang Minchuan really not believe it at all? That evening, they returned home. Jiang Yi hurriedly asked what happened. The boy replied, she accidentally fell on stage today. I just took her for a checkup. Jiang Yi asked urgently, is she okay? Did she get hurt anywhere? She has some bruises. The doctor said it's nothing serious. It'll be fine with some ointment. Jiang Yi scolded the girl. Since you're fine, why don't you get down? How old are you that you still need to be held and carried like this? After hearing this, the girl closed her eyes and leaned against the boy's chest. Seeing this, Jiang Yi immediately said loudly, how improper is this? The boy spoke up, Big brother, we haven't eaten yet. I'll take Qingying upstairs first. Could you please ask the auntie to make a few new dishes? Something light. After speaking, he carried the girl away. I know. I have to go out later. I'll talk to him properly about this next time. This opera should have been stopped long ago. He finished with a sigh. The boy was carefully applying ointment for the girl. After he finished, he put the medicine down. He helped the girl get under the covers, lie down for a bit. I'll take you to dinner later. As the boy was about to leave, the girl suddenly grabbed his clothes. Why are you unhappy? Jiang Qingying suddenly tugged on the corner of Jiang Minchuan's shirt. Then she let go. Just then, Jiang Minchuan grabbed her wrist instead. His gaze darkened. He asked, why did you bother with Kai Qingyang? Jiang Qingying immediately threw herself into Jiang Minchuan's arms, looking aggrieved. Your good friend doesn't like me. If I had refused him, wouldn't he hate me even more? Jiang Minchuan had a concerned expression that I know what you're trying to do. Qingying, there's no need. Hearing this, Jiang Qingying was stunned. Her eyes were fixed on him. Then, Jiang Qingying threw herself into his arms once more. She didn't expect him to be so gentle today. As a punishment this time, Jiang Minchuan tickled her, making her lie on the bed, laughing nonstop. At the company, Kai Qingyang took the initiative to greet Jiang Minchuan. But Jiang Minxuan ignored him completely, who told him to offend someone he shouldn't have. Kai Qingyang thought for a moment. It seemed this time he was determined to make him be the first to bow his head. So he drove to Mei Garden. He brought a large pile of gifts to see Jiang Qingying and sincerely apologized to her. But Jiang Qingying said, "I know Boss Kai didn't do it on purpose. I understand the sentiment, but I won't accept these things." After speaking, she turned to leave. Kai Qingyang kept saying from behind her, "You must accept them. Otherwise, my conscience won't be clear." Kai Qingyang looked like he was about to cry. He grabbed her clothes. Inwardly, Kai Qingyang slapped himself hard, hating himself for being so spineless. Jiang Qingying forcefully shook him off, already growing impatient. "I can't carry all these things back by myself anyway." Kai Qingyang said with a grin, "I'll deliver them for you." He drove his car again and arrived at the Jiang residence. He gave a wicked smile. He couldn't let this trip be for nothing. He had to get Jiang Minxuan to come down. He had to let him know that he had come with a sincere look on his face. As he expected, Jiang Minxuan really did come down. He walked over to the gifts. He opened one and looked inside with a critical expression.